So I would say I've been wheeling since 2007. I got out of the fast car scene in Australia. One reason because I was going to get locked up and lose my license, and I needed to find a different hobby.
Probably in the last 2-3 years when I've really got bigger into it and started building Jeeps and making larger connections with people.
My grandpa had a Jeep Wrangler, a TJ, so that's really where I learned in the Jeeps.
Personally, probably about 4 years now, but I used to do a lot of wheeling originally with my dad back when I was a kid in his old Cherokee Chief, and recently got into it myself right about 4 or 5 years ago.
Hi, my name is Brian. I'm from Seattle, Washington. Been driving a Jeep for 3 years now, and loving every second of it.
I've been wheeling since I was about 13. First time on this trail, stationed in Colorado for 3 years when I was in the Army, back in 2001 to 2004. Haven't been here since.
It's been about 4 years. I started in Charleston. My boys always loved Jeeps, and I've always wanted one, so we picked one up on the side and thought we'd just go around town until we had a local group that was going wheeling. And I said, oh, wouldn't that be fun? Let's go try it out, if you will. And from that first time, I was hooked.
Hey, I'm Doug from Outlaw Offroad. I live in Greensboro, North Carolina. And Outlaw Offroad, together with several other off-road companies, got together to put on an event in 2021 called American Crawlers. American Crawlers was really an event that came from an idea of an event that combined off-roading between manufacturers, sponsors, company, CEOs, all that, with just regular, everyday people, and to show that rigs of any different build level, from mild lift wheels tires all the way up to some of the rigs that we have in this event, just crazy builds. They can all wheel together. Everybody can wheel together, have a great time, and just show really what a community that off-road can be. And, you don't have to really know people for a long time, but, when we get together off-road and, we get it into 4-low and we get out there, we just all come together as a family and just enjoy the outdoors.
So when Doug reached out to me first, I don't know, was I first? I think I might have been first.
I think you were first.
But as soon as he mentioned it to me, I was on it. Like, we're there, 100% committed. Just let me know what we need to do, and we'll be there. So what I like to do, and what Ultimate Line likes to do, is we're very involved in the industry, not as in the industry side of it, but being back to the people. I like being around off-roaders and meet new people and all that kind of stuff. So I just looked at another opportunity to meet new and interesting people all around the country. So I thought, what better time to do it and then do it with Doug.
I'd love to say that selection for American Crawlers was random, but it really wasn't. It was fairly deliberate. I wanted to make sure that we had a good representation, a good cross-section of drivers from different areas of the country, different levels of builds, from mildly built. I mean, obviously wanted to make sure they could complete the trails that we had on the schedule, and then wanted to get, maybe get a couple crazy ones out there. And to do that was a little difficult, but we had a ton of applications. We had a ton of people that really responded, definitely more than I thought. And it really just broke down to, look, can we get a cross-section of the country, cross-section of builds, and get them all together. Meet in the middle in Colorado and go do some wheeling. We had companies from all over the country. We had, we had all the way Rock Crawler out of New York.
Georgia.
We had Glenn from Radcliffe from California, Georgia.
It wasn't New York. It was North Carolina. That's where Travis lives.
Well, technically, that's true. Yeah, we definitely had that covered. We had participants from Washington State, Texas, Missouri, North Carolina, Alabama. So, and again, we did that deliberately. We just wanted to make sure that it's different wheeling in Washington State than it is in North Carolina. We have totally different wheeling styles, different terrain. You build your vehicle for different things, and to be able to get all those different kinds of builds that were originally intended to be built for something that may not be Colorado-like, and to get them all together, that was the plan.
How many hours do you think you're going to be driving from North Carolina?
Yeah, so I think it's like 26 or 27. It was 7 to here, but with fuel stops and everything else, trying to roll by myself, it's probably going to be like 33 to 35. First time going out there, super stoked, and I'm really excited for the climate and the views. Like right here, we're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's 98 degrees today. I'm wearing sweatpants, but it's supposed to be in like the 40s out there. Big elevation changes and just taking in the scenery.
Generally, when I go out west, obviously I have a day job, not unlike this guy. So I will ship my Jeep generally to Denver, and then I'll fly, and that's what I did this time. And so I flew in and just flew to the airport basically, and then we picked up the Jeep. Had to have a couple things done to it, but after that it was game on. I mean, that's fair.
What kind of off-road shop are you running over there?
So Steer Smarts is going to have a new bracket that's going to fit for PSC, for the big board. And it's going to use the same base piece as that. So we went ahead and sent that.
Sure. Yeah, because all it is that there.
That's it. That's it.
But, so we're about to head out and get some dinner and get into some AC. Is this guy starting to like AC?
We caught up at Smoking Days, and we just discussed on what the plan was, on the trails we're going to do, what day, all those kind of things. But it was more, really, we haven't seen each other for a little bit too, so it was a bit of a catch-up at the same time. But we got everything sorted and all planned out, ready to go. But as plans go, they don't always go 100%.
It's C80 line, and I called them. So we have dinner. Tomorrow night we have that kind of kickoff dinner, and that's the RTEC dinner. That's the taco thing. We're going to Casa Sanchez. Sure. Casa Sanchez, 5:30. We also already have at the Gold Buckle or Gold Ball or whatever in Ouray for Friday night. So we've got the kickoff dinner done, and we've got the kind of wrap up done. It was a fairly uneventful drive from Denver to Buena Vista, but I do remember, the views were amazing, but I do remember, other than that, we got maybe 15 miles from Buena Vista, and you can just see out there for miles and miles and miles. And we could see this storm moving in. My Jeep doesn't have a top. That's a whole other story. But that Jeep, no top, no aluminum panel, no nothing. So we were pretty scared that we were just going to get hammered, just get absolutely drowned in this mountain monsoon.
Day one yet.
Yeah, we're not even to Buena Vista yet. We're still 20, 30 miles out. But I don't know how it happened. But right at the perfect moment, the road cut right, the storm kept moving, and we made it in. Luckily, but that was quite a view, trying to race that storm and thinking that, if we get hit here, this is a bad start to the week.
Yeah, wet already.
Real wet. So like 2 miles that way, I guess it's monsoon season. I didn't know that. I was just told that like an hour ago. So good on me for picking the dates. But yeah, we're looking like 2 miles off in the distance there, and all you see is this just like 3 mile wide plume of just white. And that would be a monsoon. So it's heading our way. We're gonna take shelter here in a couple minutes. But yeah, it's ought to be fun to live through, and pretty cool watching it come in. We're a good couple 100 feet above the valley up here, so we should be able to see it come in. It's gonna be pretty cool. Rain in the forecast primarily tomorrow and Monday, which tomorrow's Wheeler Lake, which could make things interesting because that's pretty much all up to the lake and then all back down. So there's a couple obstacles, so that could obviously make things interesting. Rain always does that. And then Monday we got Holy Cross on Monday, so that's Cleveland Rock. Hey Chris. So that's, you know, obviously when water hits rocks, when water hits dirt, you know, we're not on dirt anymore, we're on mud. So it's going to make for some interesting things, but, you know, I'm okay with that. We'll roll with the punches. We'll adapt and overcome. So really before day one, kind of night one, we haven't wheeled anything yet. We get it. Everybody's in Buena Vista, and we've got our first sponsor dinner, Artec Industries.
Oh, and guess where it would be at?
I mean, tacos.
Yeah, somewhere, again, I don't like.
Well, you know what?
Not a big Mexican
Wasn't
fan.
your dinner.
Everyone knows me. Not a big Mexican fan.
I think we ended up eating Mexican twice that week.
Yeah, we did.
So I guess your form of rebellion.
That is straight out of New Zealand. That's what that is. That's some New Zealand stuff right there.
It's good night taste.
Oh, what? Oh my God! Have some hot sauce or
I can't eat hot sauce.
something. You got a sensitive belly.
You do not put ketchup on a taco. Period. End of story.
Where are we going?
Hot sauce. Oh, we're going to eat some tacos.
We will be increasing elevation somewhere in the neighborhood of almost 2,000 feet from when we start to when we stop. Bring something warm. It's going to be cold up at Wheeler Lake. Much colder than it is down here. Bring a jacket, bring a coat, just bring something that's going to be warm. That will change. We're going to be going up, 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 all the way to Wheeler Lake, and down, 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 all the way out.
I haven't slept or anything. So, day one, weather's still crap. I was kind of hoping that the weather was going to clear up and I could actually see what the mountains look like. Because it's Colorado. It's beautiful. Right now, it's not so beautiful. We're going to have a good day today. I've had no sleep. Slept on the floor. But we're going to power through today. I think we're doing... I can't remember what we're doing.
Wheeler Lake.
Wheeler Lake, that's what we're doing. So hopefully it's beautiful up there. But I'm going to just say this out loud right now. I'm taking a jacket. Let's see how many others take a jacket. Because it could get really cold up there. I'm hoping it kind of does. Because then I can have a laugh.
Did you hear about Armando doing the polar plunge at the lake?
Doing the what?
Polar plunge?
No.
Yeah, he's thinking about jumping into that cold-ass lake.
Oh, he ain't going to be jumping? No. He won't be jumping in there. Because I won't be jumping in there. I reckon that cold water adds, I don't know, a couple of years to your life. Because the Norwegians do it. I won't be doing it. I'm good. And Monday can. Hope you brought a towel. A big towel. Because it's going to be cold out there. If you have a look at the weather behind me, not so much behind me, but if you look out there, you see it's going to be cold. Ooh yeah. Bring it on.
I'm ready.
Ready to hit the trails.
Not too early.
Not too early, but
No.
as long as the rain stays away, we'll be doing awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for the polar plunge. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I know my guy's doing
Armando said he was considering it. I said,
He brought a
"Man,
bathing
he's got
suit.
bigger than me
Yeah.
until he gets out of that water.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm going to call him out if he doesn't do it now.
Oh, good morning. Just hopefully I don't need a windshield wiper, but I just so happen to bring one, thank God. If we're going to be driving a little ways today, thought we'd have a little fun. Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't even know if the windshield wipers work on this thing, so we'll see how it does. Yeah.
I heard you're going to take the polar plunge at the top of Wheeler Lake.
Can we do that?
If
Is
you
that a
want.
thing?
if you want.
Can we get down there?
It'll be cold, but
I brought my swim trunks and I brought a towel.
15165.
Hey, we're probably going to use BFG pit.
BFG 1.
BFG 1, yeah.
Yeah,
BFG
BFG
pits. BFG pits.
Yeah, BFG pits.
That's BFG 1.
BFG 1.
Huh?
Pits 1? Same thing depending on which rating it is?
Yeah.
10 years on the BFG pits.
Or,
We're busy airing down here. We're running 37-inch BFG KM3s, and we find that when we get air down to about 15 psi, we have a lot more traction on the rocks, get a better ride off-road. And with these 37s, I need all the traction I can get. It really makes a big difference for me.
day 1.
And look, just look at it. Not Doug, look at that.
Gorgeous.
Gerald is gorgeous too.
Have you been here before?
Nope.
What do you think so far?
I can't wait to explore this area. Beautiful area of the country. And Colorado's one of my favorite states in terms of this type of stuff, wheeling and scenic. I just love it.
Getting ready to hit this trail. Ready to finally get out here and put it in 4 wheels.
First time on Wheeler Lake, absolutely gorgeous. You know, it's not a real hard trail, but it keeps you on your toes because you got things, if you go right or if you go left, you're not gonna have a very fun time. But, you know, it's fun. It's slick rock. I'm not used to wheeling in wet weather or mud. I mean, that's not what I do. I've done it a few times in Tennessee and I just thought it was the friggin' hairiest shit I've ever done because you got no traction, you got no control. You just kind of drive, point and shoot and hope that the tires grab.
Right back. Come up. There you go. Come on right up. Don't do it. Nice. There you go. There you go, Stacy. Little passengers, you come up.
A lot of people know him by the name of Diesel Krentz. I had a stock JK 2014. It's brand new. He put a flyer on my windshield and he's like, hey, come on this trip with us. So I meet a bunch of people out, and honestly, like, I realized how you could be a part of something bigger and grow with other people. It's amazing. So man, my first time.
If you can go hard passenger and go from there.
Go up hard passenger, just gotta get that other side tire.
Right there, go.
Send it.
Got into Jeeping because I like the outdoors. You can't get this anywhere else. You know, just walking around, you can't get it. I don't know. It just, my first time out on a Jeep, I knew that's what I wanted. I was about 13, 14, and it's just been a hobby and a passion ever since. You know, being able to do things with a vehicle that it wasn't intended to do, but you make it do it. The views that you can get to, you can hike to this, but it'll take you days to get up here. We made it up here in what, an hour? So being able to do things like this, just get anywhere in the world and be in the outdoors, that's what keeps me going.
I started in 2014. So how long is that? 8 years. 8 years.
I started wheeling at like 14 in a Bronco I bought to start building for my first vehicle.
What happened with it?
I sold it like an idiot. I sold it like an idiot. I shouldn't have sold it, but I wheeled the crap out of that and grew up in Tucson, Arizona, and started wheeling around there. And first vehicle was the Bronco, and it just led into Jeeps and then a career into off-road.
Wheeling is our life. I've been off-roading since I was 13 years old. Rode my motorcycles and through the Hollywood Hills because I lived at the end of the street that you could drive up into the Hollywood Hills, ride to the Hollywood sign, have a good time up there, and we built our own little motocross track. So we've been off-roading for majority of my life.
Oh, it's amazing. You know, I started with my youngest was about 6 when we started, he was still in his car seat in the back of the TJ and just loved it. You know, he and I both went together, and my youngest now is 6, and he loves it now. It took him a little bit of time to get used to it, but both of them, now that we're in Dallas, I've got a little more options in terms of wheeling. But it's a father-son thing. I take both of them out as often as I can, and it's been great to have that bonding time with them.
You know, it's having my son on a journey like this. For me, it's about him and his journey, him doing things that pushes him outside his bubble. And if I can help him to do that, then that makes this trip all the more better for me. And it's awesome, you know, to be able to come out into a fantastic setting like this, wheeling with fantastic people. It's just unbelievable.
Going in, I had super high expectations, right? The Jeep culture, the Jeep life. But no, it blew me away. Every turn was more fun than the last. Just like the possibility of adventure around every corner. So last summer, my girlfriend and I drove the whole Washington backcountry discovery route, which goes from Oregon to Canada, all off-road. And just like a huge adventure, planning and organizing the trip and then making it happen in 4 days, which was no small feat to run that far in just that short of time. But yeah, ever since we set out on day one, it was like, this is it. I got to do more and more and more of this.
Driving up to Wheeler Lake, you get to one point, it's just straight up to the mountain. And it's just rock. So there's no really trail, it's just going over rock. And the higher you get, you think you're at the top, and then when you crest the top of the mountain, Wheeler Lake shows itself, and then it's just surrounded by more mountains.
You've come through all these valleys thus far, and you really don't know that the trail's almost over. It doesn't continue past the lake. It doesn't go anywhere else because the lake is surrounded on basically 3.5 sides by mountains. It's not one of those views you see that's 3, 4, 5 miles out. You're not seeing that, but what you do see, it's hard to find that anywhere else in the country, probably the world.
It's freezing. Like, I didn't even want to step in a puddle because it was so cold. To know that he was going to jump in the lake, and then we all kind of found out it was for Hero Off-Road. So we were like, well, what's it going to cost to get him in the lake? Because at that point it became, we wanted to put him in the lake.
You want donations for you or Hero?
Not for me. You
All
know, I'm
right.
not going to take anybody's money.
I'll go 20 to Hero.
I'll go 100 to Hero. You gotta take it with you.
I'll throw 20 in. Let's do it.
Oh, you're up to 140 now.
What's it gonna take?
140?
Huh?
Get 250.
So at 140, we need $110.
That should be way easier. I could have said 5, and that would have been probably way easier to get 5.
So you need 250?
Let's do 250.
Okay, 250 you got.
What?
I got 250 for you.
All right.
Oh, God.
Do epic shit.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah!
Way to go, Armando.
Why'd you jump in there?
Just because.
Well,
anything to raise money for Hero Off-Road.
And what's Hero Off-Road?
Non-profit organization that gives back to our veterans and active duty military and their families. Cool adventures, fun stuff, and we always love to do what we're gonna do. And this always makes it all worth it.
Pretty impressed in his dedication,
Yeah,
but
I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't have done it. But that's Armando.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty much straight up to the lake, pretty much straight back down. We start getting everybody down, and we have this idea. We figure out a line where we can kind of get really cool shots and carrying left rear tires and getting good pictures. Letting the participants get some stuff for their social media pictures and whatnot.
Passenger here. Hey, listen, 3, slow. Save the driver a bit, come on. Come on. Take some hold, man. Alright, slow, slow. Passenger here. Slow. Good. Alright, come on.
Don't turn passenger, you're up. Then cut passenger once you're up on the driver's side. Nice and easy. Do not sit on the brake. Now cut passenger. All passengers. Nice and easy. Very slow, slow. Hold that passenger and just go really, really slow. This is gonna work.
This is definitely gonna work.
Really, really, really slow.
He needs to be a little bit more passive.
No, he really doesn't.
No, he's just the right spot. He's gonna drop. Very slow.
Very slow.
Stop.
Oh no.
Turn it off. Shut it off. Shut it off.
Shut the engine off.
We could just lift it back over. Yes. Push it back over. 1, 2, 3.
Guys.
1, 2, 3. Ah! There we go. Let it go. Don't get it.
Don't let it go.
Don't
let it go.
Can you pop it into neutral? Keon.
Suffice it to say, as you see in the video, when in doubt, throttle out. If you ever find yourself in a situation where your rear's coming up, hit the gas.
Yeah. Don't hit the brake.
Yeah, if you hit the brake, you're going over. So the morning of Holy Cross was morning 2. You know, we done Wheeler Lake the day before. Everybody was getting kind of, and we did Wheeler Lake that way on purpose, make it kind of an easier trail. You know, we didn't know each other, leading up to the getting to the harder stuff. So, you know, we decided to go ahead and do Holy Cross on day 2.
Pretty much, I mean, it's the same thing as yesterday, different trail. I haven't been to this trail before, so I don't really even know what to expect. I know Cleveland Rock's up there somewhere. We'll see.
And we finally got to the trailhead. But what we did not know was coming was at our driver's meeting that morning,
You know, we're talking about the temperatures, we're talking about the ride out to Holy Cross, doing all the things you do in a driver's meeting. And which would normally not happen, Chris decides to give us a weather report.
We'll try to make a decent day out of it and try to get off the trail before we get pummeled by rain. Try.
There's a city up there?
Trying.
Holy Cross City, that's where we're going. That is exactly where we're going.
Abandoned mining town. Looked at the weather, there's no rain for miles.
Oh, really? Cool.
And now we're screwed. It's going to storm at Holy City.
And
we're done.
Radar, everything. We're good.
Now straighten it up. Is that right rear going to climb? Yeah. Yep, here comes the right rear. There it is.
I think when wheeling really changed my life was getting out and seeing the amazing places that are out there that you can't get to with a normal vehicle or a stock vehicle or just your average daily commuter. Well, my list just changed. So the places I want to go back to are Fordyce, and of course I want to come back to Colorado now after being here.
Hey, you have lockers on, right? Come on, you got lockers? All right, wait, back up the chair. All right, from there, roll into and go. All anyone wants to go
Going out with family and going out in trails. We did Azusa Canyon a lot. Grew up in Southern California. That was kind of the weekend plan. So kick butt during the week to get your chores done, get your schoolwork done, so you can go play in the canyon and go get dirty. When I started wheeling a little more when I was about 17, 18, it was more desert racing. So Ivan Stewart was probably my biggest idol. I had a Toyota. He was a Toyota guy. So I raced in the Baja 500. I raced in a number of races down in Baja back between 17 and 20 with a couple different race teams. So a lot of desert racing happening back there.
Well, we lived in LaPlace, Louisiana, which is like right outside of New Orleans. And they had a spillway where the dam was. So we would just, whenever they would clear the dam out, we would just go and ride with the four-wheelers or the Jeeps, motorcycles, whatever they had out there. Honestly, the day I bought my Jeep changed my life. Since then, I just made connections. I've traveled the country with different companies, met a lot of company owners and went to a lot of events. I was a social worker for the state in Louisiana before I bought my Jeep, and then once I got my Jeep, it just kind of literally changed my life.
It's going to push you as you come, it's fine. Hold it, driver. Come up a little bit more. Roll from there. Go from there. As soon as you start coming up, slightly passenger. Come on.
Freaking awesome.
going to French Creek, your thoughts are, oh, this is pretty and it's going to be easy.
It looked Hey, it looked easy.
It looked easy.
Like the start of it looked easy.
Yeah.
And as you further you get in, you're going, oh crap.
We're on trails that these guys, it was a mining town.
Yeah.
We're on trails that these guys were like on horses and buggies, and we think we're, badass wheelers.
Hey, there was apparently a post office up there.
A hotel.
Yeah.
They're rolling up Holy Cross, and we're thinking, oh, this is a really challenging trail. This is a badge of honor trail from Jeep, and these guys were up there going, yeah, whatever. We don't need Jeeps. we got these wooden wheels and a couple of ox, and we're
good.
rocking and rolling. So you realize real quick how tough they were back then, for sure. Right. Well, Gabe was riding with me. We were done with the trail. It was raining. We were wet.
Caught in a downpour. No top. If it ain't raining, we ain't wheeling. Can I have my winch cord, please?
But because we were going slow, nobody was getting, mud slung on them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have fenders at the time. So anytime you get above 6 miles an hour, you're gonna get mud in some places you don't want to get mud. Well, the end of Holy Cross is about a 15-mile
dirt road
ride down a dirt road in dry conditions. So we were basically mud bogging for 20, 25 minutes. And I just want to get it over with. So I'm like ultra foring it down the mountain.
I think we all did.
I just want out of this Jeep. I want done. And as bad as I wanted it, Gabe wanted it 10 times worse. I have never witnessed anybody get out of my Jeep faster than he did when we got back to Jeeps with tops.
You don't have to worry about it.
Man, you got some wild hair this morning.
Hey man, I'm trying to be like Ian. He's my idol.
Day 3, baby. American Crawlers, let's get it.
So what happened yesterday? Rain happened yesterday. At like the worst possible time. Rain all in the Jeep, mud everywhere, 10 miles on a dirt road after we leave Holy Cross. So now I'm cleaning it up so we can do it all over again. The rain is the strategy. You got a lot of Jeeps out here without tops, myself included. And it's not warm here. We're not quite at 10,000 feet, but we're up there. So we haven't seen daytime temperatures out of the 50s. So you add that, and then driving to the trail, you get some cold temperatures, wind chills in the 30s in the Jeep. And JLs don't have awesome heat. JKs have way better heat. So he's got to figure out, today's a travel day and a short trail day. He's got to figure out who's going where, when we can get out of here, when the radar shows the rain's moving in, and then how far west we got to go towards Uray to clear the rain. If we can do all that, make our perfect storm, we might be able to make it to Uray without anybody getting hypothermia. It'd be pretty good. Day 3, there was a split schedule. We had some guys who really, really, really wanted to do a trail called Carnage Canyon. And Carnage Canyon, for those who don't know, is pretty much the hardest thing we could have found within driving distance of Buena Vista, which is where we were camping.
Well, it wasn't far from the camp.
It wasn't far at all. I think the trailhead 2 miles tops.
We're going to kind of do a no fuss, no muss today. Will's in charge on the trail. We're going to do somewhere between 2 and 3 strikes drought. It depends on what your line looks like. That's why we got all winched up, ready to go. So we're not here to hurt egos or set egos. We just want to get off the trail clean and safe and in a timely manner.
And not break.
And not break.
To not break today.
Fingers crossed.
That's all the bump you're going to get. You're on your rear diff against the rock. There it is. There it is. Rear. And what's going to get worse? You're going to look at the stop.
Huh?
What happened?
Well, see, what happened is we was coming up here and we got all fucking cattywampus.
It's a Midwest thing.
We ended up in a rough spot when I slipped, ended up breaking a rear drive shaft. Up to that point, though, it was going good. I feel confident that before had we not have broken that shaft, that we would have fared pretty well on the trail.
All right, so obviously we have the broken drive shaft on the Gladiator here. We're getting it pulled off right now. In the position it's in, it's a little precarious because you're laying on boulders and stuff, so it's taking a hot minute. But we reached out to a welder in Buena Vista who has graciously said he'll do just about whatever it takes to get it fixed. It actually looks like we just got the second half out. So Will and I and Jeff are going to run up to the exit and hand the drive shaft off to the guys that ran Chinaman's today. They're going to run into town, get it fixed for us, and in the meantime, Will and I will hike back down and do whatever we can to get this Jeep moving forward as far as we can until we get the drive shaft back. Then hopefully we can throw the drive shaft in it and get it the rest of the way off the trail.
Oh wait, here, come here.
We ended up doing a lot of winching, and that JT with a 60/80 and a steel bed on it is a heavy, heavy rig. So definitely a shout out to Warren there, because any other winch I don't think would have pulled. We probably had that winch under load 7-8 hours continuously.
At the same time, Chinaman Gulch, really, really close. There's times between Chinaman Gulch and Carnage Canyon that you are 100 yards from.
You could throw a rock.
Yeah, you could walk over and just shake hands with trails.
So over the years, we found that, you know, most of the really good wheelers have ridden motorcycles. I mean, if you look at a lot of the trophy truck guys, you look at a lot of the rally guys, they've ridden motorcycles competitively, and we've always had a good time riding on a motorcycle since we were kids. I mean, we were 13, 14 years old riding our motorcycles all over Hollywood and getting in trouble and having a good time. But you know, that's what you do. You learned how to ride fast in the desert, ride fast in the whoops.
Hey, I'm Carter Wilson from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm 17. I've been wheeling with Jeeps for about 4 years, and then just complete off-road about my whole life with four-wheelers and dirt bikes and things like that.
The difference, so Colorado to me, since I've come out here, not so much in the higher levels, but in the lower levels, is a lot like Australia. We've got rock, mud, and like ruts in the road, so you've got some guide of where you're going. But then you've got out Utah way, it's got slick rock, you got Moab, you got Sand Hollow. It's completely different to anything I've wheeled in Australia. So that was a big learning curve for me. But out here, it's literally like being at home. We did Holy Cross the other day, and that literally felt like I was at Mount Disappointment in Victoria, especially when it started raining. So that was super, super cool.
There's similarities to Big Bear, but you can't compare it to anything that we've done in Moab or Sand Hollow. This is just raw, rugged rock crawling.
Terrain on Chinaman's is, I wouldn't say hard. It's a fun trail. So there's some harder obstacles that you can do as just like a bonus, like have a bit of fun on, which we did. I think most of it was like that. Okay. At different points of Chinaman's, the terrain changes. So you see like a forest, it becomes like a more deserty. It becomes sandy, which I didn't expect.
Yes, Carnage Canyon was true to its name. He had a couple of incidents on Carnage Canyon. So Andy in the JT lost a drive shaft. Just one of those things. It's a longer wheelbase, longer drive shaft. The angle's bad. It just, you get caught, and it's shredded. Travis stepped up. Good job, Travis. Went over to the trail, got the drive shaft, took it into town, and not only got the drive shaft fixed, but brought burgers back.
Well, the big boys decided to hit up Carnage today. They're stuck up there. We're gonna be up there for a while, so I decided to go to K's and pick up some cheeseburgers for everyone. All right, so the boys up on Carnage broke, drive shaft to be exact, but we found a local, Carl, and we are now making a drive shaft. So they're up on Carnage. It's like 4 o'clock, about the storm. Storms are rolling in. Waiting on this thing to get finished up, and when Carl gets done, we're gonna head back up to Carnage Canyon and hopefully get them boys out here. And we got 10 cheeseburgers too, so can't leave them boys hungry.
Keep coming. Keep coming. We have to stick your clamp up, right?
You're on the left side now.
This
Back
goes
in behind the winch line. So back in behind here.
So his winch broke, and I remembered like a week ago or a few days ago that Nina Barlow posted a picture on how to fix the winch with synthetic rope without a bolt and bolting it to the drum. So we found it on Instagram and just tried it now, and it seems to be working. Thank you, Nina. Suck it in. Suck it in. Start turning passenger. Keep going. Keep going. Keep that winch tight. Like super tight right now. Let the winch catch up. No gas, just let it pull you right now. Keep going.
I've never been on a trail that it's difficult when you're winching, and you have to be super careful when you're winching. I've never been on something like that. Normally you winch and you're done. Definitely a different beast here. Pictures don't do it justice. It's 20 feet high, you know, so these guys are great spotters, and so I was just excited to do it, and the Jeep overall did well, so I'm proud of that. What's scary is I've done everything to that Jeep myself, and I normally learn from my mistakes, but so far, so good, so I'm happy about it.
We did have one mishap there, where we had synthetic rope that we were running through a snatch block because we needed to get an angle to pull me around. The snatch block was attached to a recovery point with a soft shackle. The soft shackle did fail, which sent the snatch block back through my windshield.
Andy, are you okay?
He's good.
Missed my head by about that much. Luckily, I was leaning out the side of my half door to listen to Will and Travis as they were trying to guide me through it. So, you know, it was a lesson learned. We got Justin at Factor 55 actually on FaceTime that walked us through some stuff.
We're on the exit of Carnage Canyon. It's raining, and he only has front-wheel drive.
Oh my God!
In a Gladiator.
In a Gladiator.
On a 68.
All right, so 20 inches on each side. And then just run it through how many times on each side?
Just, it only, when you're putting the line back together, you just have to go down and in, and then down and in. That's all you have to do.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to go back and, like, you only have to go back and forth when you're trying to create an islet at the end of the line. But if you're just trying to connect the two ends
It's like
back
20
together,
inches, right?
that's it.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is go count it in. And then basically just how like the bit, right? The bit needle acts like a, the wire basket acts like a Chinese finger trap. That's exactly what the rope is gonna do when it grabs onto itself on the inside.
Oh, so we stick it down in the center 20 inches.
Exactly, yes. So you want to push the line together to expand the fibers open. And then the bit needle will go down right in between them.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, okay.
I definitely taught myself a valuable lesson that the particular type of snatch block we were using has to be used with a D-ring and not a soft shackle. Everybody from this event, you know, we had been out there 8 hours in the rain. Everybody was tired. We were working with limited resources, limited gear. You know, and mistakes were made, but it's a, you know, when it comes out and we get to talk about it more, it's going to be a valuable, in my opinion, it's going to be a valuable safety lesson for people. You know, what can happen if you don't pay attention, and, you know, to check your gear and make sure you're really well educated on what you have and the proper application to use it.
Thanks, man.
Or answering.
I got you, buddy.
Splice the rope back together with a simple phone call, Justin. We're calling everybody today. It's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Phone a friend. Like.
So day off was a lot of sightseeing, you know, fixing stuff from the day before, just kind of a breather in between, which is sometimes a good thing to have.
Yeah, we went in the souvenir store, and this lady was asking, you know, was basically saying where we want to know where we were from, and she said, "Well, I can tell you're not from Texas because you wouldn't be acting that way." I said, "Well, I told her, I said, well, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina." She said, "Well, I really don't care." So I didn't think we were acting bad. Did you?
That night, we all went to Gold Belt Bar and Grill, downtown Ouray. That was a sponsor-provided dinner by PRP Seats. Thanks to them.
Thank you.
They stepped up and, you know, were able to have that dinner for everybody because of them. And, you know, we're all sitting down and, you know, getting food and ordering some adult beverages. And that was, I think that was the night. Was that the night of the deer takeover?
Mm-hmm.
And you almost getting arrested.
Yeah.
We don't know him.
He's here illegally. Ask for his green card.
Chris had parked his Jeep.
I thought I had prime parking.
Uh,
Like no
you
one
did.
no one parked there. I'm like, why is
Nope.
people driving past these? I'm
No,
like,
there's
I'm
a
just gonna
reason they
park
weren't
there.
parked there. What was it marked for?
Motorcycles.
Motorcycle, not a motorcycle. The deer showed up.
Yeah.
These giant bucks in velvet still. So Travis decides he's going to go play with the deer.
Do you think that deer knows he owns Ouray right now?
Oh shit, Travis. Watch out, Travis. Travis, go give him a kiss. Now we know why they hang around.
They pretty much owned the attention span of everybody in Ouray for about 20 minutes.
It was. It stopped the town.
Absolutely.
Literally stopped it.
Traffic, everybody.
everything.
Everybody just wanted to see the deer. This was not my first trip to Ouray. I've been to Ouray several times. I love that town. I love that area. Ouray, Telluride, that whole area. They call it Little Switzerland or Switzerland of the Americas. And you drive around town, you can see why they call it that. There's just super steep rocky peaks. It looks like Switzerland. And you can go in, you know, August and there's snow. In May, snow. There's really only about 2 or 3 months out of the year that you can drive a vehicle over these passes. Ophir and Imogene, Black Bear, you know, these passes between Ouray and Telluride, because back in the day, there really wasn't any way to get around and go from Ouray to Telluride for supplies or you know, doing business or whatever. So they made these passes, and Imogene's one we were on, Black Bear was one that we were on, which were originally, you know, mining roads, you know, commerce roads, whatever you want to call them.
The majority have been since 2017 when I did the Rubicon with
Gerald Lee, Brian from CMM, John Herrick from Crawl Magazine. And since then, I don't know, I must have done 20,000 miles in total.
Arriving here about 4 years ago, I bought this Jeep and already had some really cool friends, but now I could actually go out and wheel with them. And just how family orientated everybody is, it's like you meet people for the first time and they become family. I don't know if it's because of my accent or I'm just a nice guy, or it's just that's how everybody is. And I've been so humbled to meet so many people that they've let me come into their home, stay in their home, and just treat me like family, because it's very hard for me coming from Australia. I don't have any family here. I've left my 2 girls back at home. I haven't seen them for 3 years, so it's very hard. And when it comes to other people's children, I sort of latch onto them. And it's very humbling to know that my friends allow me to treat their own kids like they're my own. So it's that part of this lifestyle, I think, is the best part about Jeeping.
Morning 5, trail day 4. We're about to head out to Black Bear Pass. Pretty epic, iconic trail there, great views. And gonna hang out in Telluride for a few hours. And then we're gonna head back over Imogene tonight. Second highest drivable road in Colorado, somewhere around 13,500 feet. So it's gonna be a great day. We got amazing weather today and tomorrow, it looks like. So really looking forward to getting started here and getting on some trails. The one paved road that goes, I think, south of town, they called it the $1 Million Highway. And it's just a super cool road because unlike any other road, you're really going to see on the edge of the road is the edge of the road. It's sheer. I believe in one of my touristy times in URA, they had said that the reason it was called $1 Million Highway was a complete highway built between URA and another town, Ironton or Silverton or whatever town that was. They built the whole highway for $1 million.
The most excited part about this whole trip is the reason why I went on it is because Doug mentioned Black Bear.
I did.
Coming from Australia, that is the icon next to Moab.
So, coming off of the Carnage rescue, I lost a tie rod. It was my fault. So we have parts coming in overnight. Luckily, I have some of the coolest friends in the world, and Gerald Lee puts me in the driver's seat for Black Bear. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. The real story is Gerald didn't want to drive anymore in the Elements, so he wants to come in the Gladiator, in the AC, and
Leather
the cover and
seat,
everything.
get right in and out.
Hey, but where's the serious?
So we get to the trailhead, and I felt like a knock in the front of the axle. So I've gotten out and I've had a look.
So today, we haven't even made it to the trail yet. It's up there, like a half a mile, but we're going to be doing a trail fix. Chris from Ultimate 9 popped a U-joint cap off his driver's side front axle shaft U-joint. So luckily, one of the other participants here, I think Vince, had one. So we're going to try and boogie on down and get this thing fixed and get Chris on the trail today. This is just boogered up just slightly.
They had that Dodge 2500 diesel roll.
Same, that's what he did. He was trying to take it. Give me that. Pretty excited for this one. This is one of those trails, even if you've done it, I've done it. This will be the 3rd time. Never done it in this Jeep. Never done it in a built rig, actually. Did it in a rental Jeep, but you're not supposed to do that. So, sorry, rental Jeep company I rented from like 4 years ago, and on a 4Runner. Pretty excited to do it in my Jeep. Get some pictures, get some video. Be an awesome day.
we are at 12,000 feet, and we're above tree line right now. It's pretty cool. Engines don't really like this height because right now as we're going up, temperatures are rising. I'm at 223 degrees right now, and had to go to low range just to take the strain off the engine in high. But it's pretty cool. Great views. Pity about the smoke from the fires out in Utah on the Colorado border. But it's beautiful up here. Like, it's just, this is the highest I've ever been in a vehicle, so it's pretty cool. And I've never seen a landscape. It's like being on the moon. If I was to go to the moon, this is what I think it would look like. It's pretty cool.
Down the area known as the steps, and super easy to just roll your Jeep right into the river, so be really, really careful. And there's actually several people who have not done them properly and end up in the river on their top. Once you make it through, just kind of stop 15, 20 feet up, just make sure the person behind you makes it through. Got to drop another couple thousand in the city, right? What altitude are we at now? We're at 10.7 now. We got to go down to about 9,000, but I mean, it looks worse than it is. We just need to rock on through it. It does get you, especially if you've not been here before. You look down and then you look up, and it's just this whole equilibrium thing, and it does things to your head.
There are so many things in my life I would rather do than that ever again. Like, get a COVID vaccine, detail every Jeep here, eat peanut butter. I'm allergic. No, it wasn't. There's just like 5 spots, like little off-camber spots that you see birds flying under you. That's the shit I don't like. Can we not do this again? Let's go to Carnage right now and not go that way.
We're not going to talk about how we get back to your rig.
I'm taking the fucking highway.
Surprise. We broke them. Yeah, the sole has been broken.
Yeah, I don't.
This man has wheeled in some of the toughest conditions and the hardest trails this country has to offer.
And a dirt road. A fucking dirt road. Made me.
Got him.
Yeah. I'm starving though because I puked. So, can we go eat?
I've never seen Will Perriman that scared in my whole life.
That's a once in a lifetime trail. I will not do that again. Heck no.
Pretty
That was nuts.
Dude, this is the one time I hate being this wide. Every other time I've loved it, but my neck is killing me. I'm on the side just making sure this thing is right up against it.
I swear he was more nervous when he was on the uphill side and I was on the downhill side. He's over there hugging. I swear he was more nervous then. I was like, I'm on the downhill side.
And I told him, I said,
At least you know to jump.
12 times over before I do that again.
I told him when we started up, when we first came down the first switchback and it got to the left and I was over on the wall, I said, I got my hand on the seatbelt. If it goes, I'm just going to bounce out because, I mean, I need to tell your family what happened.
I retract my statement. That was the scariest thing I've ever done since Carnage. Solid ground, low elevation.
I'm a bit disappointed. I thought I was going to be scared shitless. But all the way up there, it's pretty tame. I don't see what the big deal is. Probably only one switchback is a major scary one, which is the first one. The steps, they were pretty easy too. So Black Bear's not that hard. I don't know. Maybe because if you're scared of heights, it might be a little bit more harder, but I'm not scared of heights, so it's pretty easy for me. I heard a few people squealing on the radio and squealing about 20 Jeeps ahead. But apparently we all picked up a wheel and then I heard, ah! So, all part of the fun.
Black Bear Pass, you know, obviously it was made as a you know, transit and commerce trail between towns. So it ends right into Telluride. And we thought, oh, we're going to go to Telluride. We're going to go ride the mountain chalet thing. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to be tourists for a couple hours. Yeah. Well, there was a mask mandate in effect for the mountain chalet ride.
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of Jeepers showing up to the mountain chalet. Nah, it wasn't happening. That wasn't going to be a thing. So our touristy split up thing ended up being, hey, everybody descend on one restaurant together. And then we headed out. We split up a little bit. I think some people want to go get a t-shirt or whatnot. We headed out and we met up at the base of Time Boy Road, which turns into Imogene Pass, which was another pass to go from Telluride back into Ouray. Not a hard trail by any stretch of the imagination. It's not what it was for. Those are views you're not going to see anywhere else in the world. No. 13,000 feet and driving in America, you're just not going to see that anywhere else. And you can see just limitless views. When we got up to the top, just as the sun was going down, so we had enough light to see. Yeah. You could see for miles and miles and miles, and really. We had made such a turn where you didn't realize how close you were to Ouray. You couldn't see it. Yeah. So you really just felt like you were out in the absolute middle of nowhere at 13,000 feet.
Would you rather do trails like this the rest of your life or more technical stuff?
More technical stuff. I mean, this is awesome. I wouldn't want to do it every day. I think you'd kind of lose the you'd lose the thrill of it if you did it all the time. Technical, the trails change, rocks change, lines change, whatever. You get a good rainstorm, the whole thing changes. This probably hasn't changed since they built it.
The year that I got in a rock crawl, it was 2003. I had Jeeps before, but I never did any rock crawling. And then this magical place called Johnson Valley got me hooked. And You know, that's how I ended up actually becoming savvy to build parts that would withstand the rigors of Johnson Valley. I mean, you know, we had TJs and CJs and all these little Jeeps, but they'd come back looking like a crushed aluminum can after we spent a couple weeks at Johnson Valley. So we had to build parts that were lightweight and strong enough to withstand the beatings that Johnson Valley would give you.
The parts back then sucked. Like, you were running Mickey Thompsons and, you know, you had like 33s, and that was like nowadays, it's like 42s is the new 33, but it was pretty bad back then. It had the TTB in the front end of the Bronco and weren't really doing too much on 33s.
Today's last day. What is this, day 7? Day 7. They're all like coming together now. Last day, about to hit 4 trails. I already forget the names, but I'm gonna miss this view, and this town is freaking one of the coolest towns I've ever been in, ever. I'm definitely coming back here, like, for sure.
No, the short way, so there's a road that actually runs from the end of Poughkeepsie, and you do like 2 little switchbacks, and you just run over like 2 miles and you're at Anna's. You're there.
So would you go over California Pass?
We do go over California.
To get to
but we don't have to worry about engineer at all.
No. I was just wondering.
So if we do it that way, so at a minimum, it's Poughkeepsie around to Corkscrew out.
Okay.
And then early dinner and everybody books out. All right, did we get all the bathroom breaks out of the way?
We just go one more. 33's out of the way.
Final day, day 6, I think, of wheeling. We decided to go out and hit Poughkeepsie Gulch up to Lake Como and go over the ridge there after Lake Como and then back down Corkscrew Gulch and out through the campgrounds there. All right, this sign says extreme road ahead, and it even has an exclamation point on it.
Means it's serious. Means winch and lockers required. So why is the TJ on 33s going down it? Now I'm concerned. Maybe he didn't read the sign. Yeah, Poughkeepsie Gulch, not a hard trail at all. I mean, the lake was beautiful, mostly dirt road, gravel, but there is this one obstacle, and you have to turn off to get to it. And I believe they call it the wall. And I don't know which part of it is what they call the wall, but on the left side, there's just this real...
I'm pretty sure it was
I'm pretty sure
the
on
middle
the right
part.
side, yeah. And we get up to it, we think the left side's lying.
Yeah, we do.
So I was like, all right, well, I'll go up first. Nobody's ever been here before. I was like, I'll go up that, I'll test it. So I go up it.
It looked harder than what
Yeah, it was nothing. And then Vince decides that didn't look hard enough.
You got it, bro. Double foot.
Raise your ramp with your right foot. Try it with the left.
You gotta wait for that damn turbo.
Let's go straight up in the middle of 2 lines, up an actual 12-foot wall.
Yes.
And he pretty much walks it. He's a great driver, got a great built rig, and just walks right up it. And then others decided to follow him. Well, Nathan Worm decides he's going to do it. Mm-hmm. But his companion, who we refer to as simply girlfriend, did not want any part of that.
Pissed.
I'm breaking up with him when he's done.
Why?
Because he shouldn't be doing that.
You worried for him?
Terrified. Gabe, tell him to back down. Boyfriend, you want to be broke up with?
Under my back seat over here.
There it is. That's all you needed. You're good.
You feel better now?
Yes. What's that?
Girlfriend, you broke up with me.
Why?
Are we back together?
Yes.
So the story goes is that some guys went up there a number of years ago, and I'm thinking this had to be 60s or 70s, and they had a bunch of cable. So they go out there on this little boat, and they again, it's a story, but people were like, no, these guys knew what they were doing. They were old ex-miners. They went out there with some cable, and they had a whole bunch of cable sitting on the bank. They started dropping cable into Como and to see where it would hit bottom. And they say they dropped over 400 feet of cable and it never touched. They were still able to reel cable. So of course they couldn't pull it back up because now that weight was all down there. So they go back to shore and actually use a truck or something and pulled all that cable out. Some geologists went up there a number of years. This wasn't that long ago. I'm thinking 10, 12, 15 years ago. And they did some depth sounding and trying to figure out how deep it was. They couldn't see bottom.
Up on the count of three.
It's fucking cold. I don't know if I can do this.
One.
Go! Come on, Will!
Let's do it. It's not that far down. Let's do it.
Will looks like fucking Michael Phelps. I told you this water's colder than the other one. He's underwater.
You lock up like as soon as you go in. No, I don't. Oh fuck. I need to sit down. It's fucking cold.
Huh?
There.
Babe.
You
live once, YOLO.
Yo, I'm busy.
Whatever you say.
Did you see him abandon me on the ledge? Didn't give me enough time to get ready.
Look.
We were supposed to hold hands and jump in together.
Well, I'm out of breath.
He didn't wait. He just jumped.
Because I wanted to get it over with. I was nervous. It was like a first date.
I was nervous too.
I'm shivering.
I
First
can't
date.
even talk. Dude, that's so cold.
The coldest thing I've ever been in.
Yes.
I don't know how pro athletes do ice baths. Like Joe Rogan did
We just did it.
20-minute ice bath.
I think that was frozen yesterday.
Like, I don't know if you've been tased before, but it feels the same. Don't ask. It feels the same. Like, I just quickly like locked up.
So they think it's actually a fissure from an old volcano kind of thing, and it goes. It's super deep. Yeah,
and we jumped in that.
Dude.
We
jumped
in that, dude.
Yeah, and it's super. I mean, it's
How
a different
sketchy
color.
is that
like
now?
You can look at the color of it and you go,
Yeah,
wow,
you
it's
can
different.
see it around the shore.
Yes,
and then it's dark.
That center is just deep.
So we walked out and like you can see, like we were on that little shelf, and then just dark way down.
Yeah.
So we jumped out, and it's like, this is ice cold.
So on the other side, where Animus Forks is, the old miners they would come over that pass there and come up there for water because there was always water in Como. But again, nobody knows how deep it is. So, crazy.
Acid in there and.
Well, you're seeing the little red flakes.
Yeah.
I still don't know what that
was.
in the water.
They're little red worms.
And they're going to jump in it anyway.
Yeah,
and so
I
they
did say
did.
I was going to one go up there pee-pee.
As of this filming, they're still alive. So
The best of times. Great scenery, great people, awesome.
Dude, it was awesome. That's the best, one of the best wheeling trips I've ever been on.
I wish I could do this every year. Epic trip. Hanging out with all my best friends from thousands of miles away. Scenery, good wheeling. It's just epic. Epic.
Thought it was a great trip and had a great time and learned a lot of stuff from everybody actually. So, great trip.
Yeah, it definitely did more than meet my expectations. I had no idea we'd see what we saw.
We made some pretty cool new friends. The scenery was awesome. Like that, I've traveled a lot across the US, and that would have to be my favorite trip.
for sure, some of the stuff that I hadn't seen before. I'd say probably Wheeler Lake. That was, you know, not for how challenging the trail was or anything like that, but just still remembering cresting that hill and it just opens up in front of you. That was probably my favorite just moment of the trip. We had people there from all over the country. And I think what we've shown is, you know, we did some challenging trails, we did some easy trails, we did some rocks, we did some scenery, we did a little bit of everything. And I think that what we showed is, from mild build and then kind of on the other end of it, you know, to see Andy out there with the Bob JT with full cage and, you know, just really, really super built, to see what that thing was able to do. But at the end of the day, we all went to the same trails.
Thing. Yeah.
You know, maybe we do a different line, maybe one goes left, one goes right, but, you know, at the end of the day, we started together, we ended together, and it didn't really matter where you were from or what. Did you have a JK? Did you have a JL? Did you have a J? It didn't. None of that mattered, because we all bought the Jeeps for essentially the same reasons, to do the same things, and we were all out there doing it. So I think just to be out there with a bunch of other American crawlers was what the event was about, and I think that ended up being really what it showed.
Down, let your hair blow around. Baby, that's how we ride. Taking no dirt road, get lost one time. Baby, that's how we ride. Let your window down, let your hair blow around. Baby, that's how we ride. Taking no dirt road, get lost one time. Baby, that's how we ride.
Yeah, we can take it down a no dirt road, lock in the four-wheel drive and hit a old mud hole. Or pick a road out in sunny hills and just drive until the sunlight disappears, with no work, no plans tomorrow. So we can just ride, get lost and forget tomorrow. Crack another top, take a left on the side road, make a little up, but watch out for the 5-0. It's just another night in the country life. I wouldn't trade it in for them city lights. And I don't understand the big city hype, but this is how we ride, forget a turnpike.
Let your window down, let your hair blow around. Baby, that's how we ride. Taking no dirt road, get lost one time. Baby, that's how we ride. Let your window down, let your hair blow around. Baby, that's how we ride. Taking no dirt road, get lost one time. Baby, that's how we ride. Come on and hop in, let your hair blow in the wind and begin to get lost. Hey, girl. We ain't stopping, we got them big tops popping while we rockin' to some Johnny and Merle. Oh yeah, there's something about a one lane dirt road in the backwoods, that'll drive anybody to drink, but not in a bad way, it's all good. I don't care if we scratch the paint. Look, we ain't in no Prius, this is a tank. We can stop off where the roads cross and pop off a sawed off. Yeah, we could sit back and sip Jack, but if you ain't down with that, adios, señorita. Let your window down, let your hair blow around. Baby, that's how we ride. Taking no dirt road, get lost one time. Baby, that's how we ride. Let your window down, let your hair blow around. Baby, that's how we ride. Taking no dirt road, get lost one time. Baby, that's how we ride.
Take 'em through the country, way down south. Ride to the bar behind my granddad's house. Pick up a 5-gallon of that 150 stout. Throw it in the bed, yeah, it's time to ride out.
Let your window down, let your hair blow around. Baby, that's how we ride. Taking no dirt road, get lost one time. Baby, that's how we ride. Let your window down, let your hair blow around. Baby, that's how we ride. Taking no dirt road, get lost one time. Baby, that's how we ride.
What are you guys still doing here? The movie's over. Go home.
For a JL grill.
I get the necklace.